بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
Assalamu alaikum. This is Jasmine Khan. And you watching GMW Budget 2021 Special Transmission. Budget Special Transmission Live. As the government of Pakistan prepares to present its second budget on June 12, its economic team is trying to push through the simplification of the tax regime, ease of doing business and COVID-19 response as cross-cutting themes. It would be a tough call indeed, as every segment of the population, from government servants to the armed forces, from laborers to employers and from the poor to big businesses, wants a helping hand amid the economic contraction. For a change, provincial cash surpluses may not be available to the sender this year after almost a decade. The revenue shortfall of almost Rs 1.6 trillion is too big and has already slashed the pie. The four provinces had promised together about 1% of GDP as surplus to the sender this year out of their joint share of over Rs 3.25 trillion, which now appears compromised around Rs 2.2 trillion. Next year will be no different given the continuation of the COVID-19 impact, at least in the first half. As the current fiscal year will be concluding at a record 9.5% fiscal deficit, the outlook for 2020-21 can be anything but hunky-dory. The survival and stability will, therefore, be the key challenge in the next fiscal year. Both the Prime Minister and his advisor on finance have shunned proposals calling for even a slight increase in tax rates. They want to continue with the stimulus approach. Still, the Premier's advisor on finance and revenue, Dr. Abdul Hafiz Sheikh, wants the next year budget to be a simple policy document rather than a horrible story. Various assumptions for subsidies, grants and support to the vulnerable are still changing, and so are the savings on account of interest payments, as monetary policy finally takes an accommodating stance. An over 5 percentage points cut is estimated to have a cumulative Rs 265 billion cushion so far. How Dr. Sheikh succeeds in the allocation of actually limited resources to keep the budget deficit at a minimum level that is acceptable to the International Monetary Fund, IMF, to pull through a troubled program would be interesting to watch. The overall debt profile is heading north and has its own long-term consequences. In the firefighting budget amid the COVID-19 gloom, Dr. Sheikh's maneuvering capabilities will be put to test. Like his previous stint as head of the economic team, he remains an outsider to the PTI's rank and file. Yet he has to put back on track the reform agenda, reinvigorate the privatization program for additional revenues in difficult market conditions, and correct wrongs in the energy sector. In his 2021 budget speech, Dr. Sheikh had lamented that even after the injection of Rs 1.25 trillion in 5 years, the power sector remained a source of concern. Since then, another Rs 1 trillion have gone down the same drain, and the circular debt has monstrously moved past Rs 2 trillion again. Its financing and limiting subsidies remain central to the survival of the IMF program. Simultaneously, revenues remain the central challenge. A depressed economy can hardly afford more tax burden. After quite some time, the Federal Board of Revenue, FBR, appears to be not in the driving seat. It is not as much the adjudicator of its own cause as it used to be. With support from some heavyweights in the Prime Minister's think tank on the economy, Economic Ministries Finance, Industries and Commerce keep on challenging the taxation proposals. Dr. Sheikh has repeatedly pushed back taxation files that suggest increased tax compliance cost and insisted, to the extent of irritation, the ideas relating to the simplification of businesses rather than business strangulation. The revenue policy themes are generally coming up from the think tank, the World Bank, the National Tariff Commission and tax consultants, so that the FBR is relegated to the role of an implementing agency instead of policymaker. For example, a lot of debate is still going on about how to limit the number of taxes to 5 or 6, which are high revenue yielding instruments, instead of 40 to 45 taxes and duties with questionable cost-benefit ratios. In this context, the minimum tax regime of the FBR is now in question. It promised guaranteed revenue flows, but is leading businesses to show losses through double bookkeeping for tax evasion. Enforcement mechanisms, therefore, are also coming under scrutiny now. At the same time, no ministry, agency or stakeholder wants to be tutored on budget making, fiscal, monetary and revenue strategy and yet have to mold their stances because members of the think tank and private revenue experts have direct access to all power corridors even though the traditional Revenue Advisory Commission could not be operationalized this year. Both the Prime Minister and his advisor on finance have shunned proposals even for a slight increase in tax rates because of the economic downturn and want to continue with the stimulus approach. Dr. Sheikh, Dr. Ishrad Hussain, Shaukat Tareen and Razak Dawood have called into question the number of taxes like customs duty, additional customs duty and regulatory duty. They are instead building pressure for the enforcement side to check smuggling and effectively recover collections from bottlers, cigarette suppliers and similar consumer goods of which contraband, duplicate and substandard products flood the markets. It is in this background that at least 2,000 tariff lines are expected to see total abolition or a substantial cut in additional customs and regulatory duties on raw material and intermediary goods used by export sectors. It has been acknowledged that there was no need for a new tax, all taxes were already in place and will start accruing as soon as businesses resume operations. On this, the economic team is also banking on bridging the 50% tax gap, the difference between potential and actual collection, through the enforcement mechanism with expert advice from the private sector. A 15 to 20% success could add ₹400 to $500 billion in additional revenue without new measures. For this, capacity-based taxation for traders and small businesses across the country is under review. Thanks for watching GMW Budget Special Transmission. Also watch latest tax news updates. Take care and Allah Hafiz.
Sponsors Massage. For best and proper tax consultancy services, feel free to contact the GMW Solutions. Call 031222615773. Join WhatsApp 033433351532. The GMW Solutions, a group of companies. GMW provide following services: tax consultants and tax services, NGOs registration, annual income tax filing, individuals filing, business filings, active taxpayer within 1 hour, ATL status, GST, SDRN, SST, sales tax registration, sales tax monthly filing, SRB registration, SRB filing, professional tax, FBR notices compliance, excise, and taxation, GST cancellation, audit reports, all tax-related issues, fastest online 24/7 services. Business consultancy services, company registrations, business licenses, business certifications, trademarks, private limited companies registrations, documentations, association of persons OP, companies registration, partnership company registration, proprietorship company registration, single person private limited company registration, incorporations, logo registrations, copyrights, Karachi Chamber of Commerce, KCCI, Pakistan Chamber of Commerce PCCI, Pakistan Standard Quality and Control Certification PSQCA, PSCIR Laboratory Testing, ISO All Categories Certification, Food Authority Certifications, HAL certifications, SASI certifications, Employers Licenses, Travel Agency License, Pakistan Software Board PSEB, Pakistan Engineering Council, PC, Import and Export License, WEBOC, Letter of Credit LC. Documents SECP Matters, SECP Annual Filing, Corporate Filing, Accounts, and Bookkeeping, Audits and others, all complete business consultancy services. The GMW Law Firm, a legal consultancy firm, challenge to injustice. The GMW provides complete legal consultancy services include civil, criminal, family cases, and customs, labor, check bounce, recovery, property issues, land grabbing and other all cases, all over Pakistan honorable courts. Our GMW high qualified professional advocates team always fight for justice. The GMW Group of Companies, new launching companies. Number 1. GMW IT Solutions, the house of software development. We are Pakistan's best programmers team, who provide complete IT solutions and IT consultancy. We have special expertise on following categories: artificial intelligence, PC surveillance, blockchain, IoT, customization of softwares, creative softwares, mobile computing, mobile applications and more. Number 2. The GMW Digital Media Studio. We create digital advertisements, animated videos, animated commercials, and animated movies, also provide complete digital marketings and solutions. Simply we are creative animation world. Number 3. The GMW Web News Channel. For business news, political news, Islamic news, and information, current affairs, income taxes, FBR news and others, fastest news broadcasting and sharing YouTube channel. For details contact us now. We served our clients 24/7 online. The GMW Solutions Pakistan First Consulting Services Group, who provide all services 24/7 online. Call 031222615573. Join WhatsApp 033433351532. Also join our social media networks. Facebook, www.facebook.com weblink. Twitter, twitter.com/solutionsgmw. Web News Channel, www.youtube.com weblink. Note: join the GMW Group of Companies. Our companies have vacancies/jobs available from all over Pakistan for online or offline. Interested persons can send their CVs on our WhatsApp and can email to consultationspk@gmail.com. For advocates and law professionals, we have vacancies available for their bright career jobs on contract basis and salary basis from all over Pakistan. Interested advocates and law professionals can send their CVs on email, challengetoinjustice@gmail.com. Take care and Allah Hafiz. Own AC ear.